Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. How are we all doing? Is everybody having a lovely day? It is November 12th, and it's time for another Saturday Skin Showcase. So, welcome back. It is me, Mr. Hedge, your host, and of course, my co-host right here, Mr. MICRØ. We have a few groups of skins to look at today, which we'll review from both a gameplay and a Steam market investment point of view. First, we'll take a look at this week's Rust item store rotation, and we'll follow that up with a look at any workshop skin submissions from the week, which could be viewed as continuations of existing sets. We hope that this information will properly prepare us to make informed investment decisions about both upcoming and existing Steam market items. If you have any insights of your own you'd like to share, please feel free to comment in the Twitch chat right here. Or we welcome you to join our investor community on Discord, link below in the description. And with that, Mr. MICRØ, are you ready? Are you prepared?
I am ready. Let's get started.
Right. Good. Alright then, let's move over and zoom over to this new double door that we were anticipating the arrival of. There was a lot of double doors in contention this week, plenty of them. We will see all the other ones in the workshop lineup in just a bit. Let's start off with this week's Rust or rotation with the Cobalt container double door made by Mr. Cubist. You might notice that this double door seems a little bit familiar, because if you've ever wandered around a monument around Rust, you might have noticed there's loads of shipping containers around the maps, aren't there? And if you take one good look at this, it does look familiar. Is it the actual texture from the in-game, Mr. MICRØ?
It's pretty close. It draws heavily from the in-game texture. There's definitely some additions to it. But, so, I mean, I think he's sort of, I don't know if he had to change the proportions to fit in the double door frame, but certainly the general look and feel of it and like the signage on the left-hand side are all very much derived from the in-game. That mesh, the grill on the top right, that like vent thing, he did add that in the 3D model, and then the lights up at the top are added in as well. And then, of course, he had to add the geometry for the key lock, for the doorknobs and that stuff. So I think he did a nice job fitting that theme right into a double door. It's pretty cool. And then, of course, he's got the light casting down from the lamps above. And it really does light things up. What you see on the ground there is not actually coming from the door. If I turn off the stage lights, you could see that's our lighting that we put in there.
Yeah, so if I could just tweak that. Let's make it fully dark. The whole thing glows, and that's something we do need to address. So if you'd like to continue, Mr. MICRØ?
Sure. It lights up very bright, which you might find, utility for within your base. I certainly like to have glowing skins, but my biggest concern when it does come to glowing items is the amount of concealment or ability for defensive gameplay. And sometimes these things glow so bright that when you walk in front of them, they like really kind of silhouette you bad.
Yeah. Also, that name above you.
Pardon?
Yeah, also the name above you gives you away. I'm just joking.
Yeah. If we weren't on a team, that would just be gray and be pretty hard to see.
Yeah. So this is something we've discussed a lot, and we probably would have a very good example to showcase properly, what's the word? An intended design to not have full-on brightness all over the door, having it perfectly positioned in just the upper half. Because as Mr. MICRØ has just said, if it can give away your position at night time, that leaves you dead. And you don't want to be dead. You want to be alive and you want to be well. But it is...
Potentially. Of course, if you were creative, maybe you could use these doors in a way that reveals the location of anybody door camping you. Maybe you just put these out in front of your base so that it helps against getting door camped. I'm just thinking, the flip side of it. Maybe you could view it as a pro and not strictly a con.
Well,
you just have to be considerate of that when you're, deploying it. That's all.
However, I will give one positive I'm definitely wanting to say. A double door skin. We haven't seen many of these this year, Mr. MICRØ. I do believe this is the fourth marketable... No, fifth. This is the fifth marketable one. For some reason, Face Punch, they have been They just don't want double door skins at all. We are now almost halfway through November of 2022, and we've only had 5 double door skins: 3 sheet metal, 1 armor double door skin, and 1 wooden double door skin. So it's odd, and we have shown you plenty of double door skins in the past. We've shown you skin collections, as we say, continuations. We've shown off many of them that were in contention. Didn't happen. So, yeah, we're happy.
There's no shortage of double door workshop submissions. It's just a shortage of acceptances. I could propose that it's in some way related to, much like the wooden double door, they're really just serve as placeholders for a door frame that will ultimately get a garage door placed there. So, I mean, of course, the sheet metal door is far more protective than the wood door, but in the end, the garage door is most likely what's going to be put there. And so maybe I think you've proposed this idea, Hedge. Perhaps Face Punch has a way of tracking the statistics of each item's individual usage, and maybe they can just see double doors don't get used a ton in game. That's a thought I have. I have no way to really back that up, but that sounds like a reasonable proposal.
And that would be like a plausible reason for why it would be a plausible reason and an action for why they would do that. So if they gave us that answer, we could just say, all right, at least they had a justification for what they're doing. And you know what? Because of that very same problem or thing, I wouldn't really call it a problem, but like it's their decisions. And because of their decisions, double door skins are actually very reliable investments. Do you remember the 2 most recent double sheet metal doors that appeared just a few weeks ago, just before Halloween? What did we see? We saw the Constellations double sheet metal door, and we saw the storage room double door. They're in the positive. They're doing all right. They sold like to the equivalent of 15,000, and they still are doing very nicely on the Steam market right now. Yes, this might be a bit, I wouldn't say super amazingly in your face, super colourful and creative. It's down to earth. It's literally from within the game, a direct reference from within this game. So a lot of people might not want to buy it in regards to, I want something creative, zany, super out there. But regardless, this still looks like it's going to be perfectly fine as an investment. So I've already talked about that, and I will talk even further into it about it with the 48-hour analysis. But this door, it's nice to see that we got another double door skin being accepted, and it is looking still to be a perfectly fine investment. And let's get a look at it from the other side. See you later, MICRØ. You can close the door now if you want.
It's the same thing on both sides. It's mirrored. But you could see, I don't know, maybe the edges of the doors, or see it in the other light from the other side there.
Yeah, and then I'll just give it a quick little spinny.
He did pay attention to the details with the little screw head details and the that mesh that he put across there. You know, the mesh is actually it almost has like a see-through effect to it. You know, you can see some depth behind it.
Yeah.
In a way, right? I mean, at least in my mind's eye, I can see it. I think he did a nice job with the normals here to give it a convincing look and feel for the 3D.
When you look at it from just a first glance, yeah, that does look like an actual mesh. So he did do a good job of that. I do like that. And I think he did do a good job of the actual locks. Like from the top here, if you actually go see a shipping container, this is actually a separate mesh from the actual like box object that is the shipping container. So for him to have managed to have got that all in one texture and whatnot, I think it looks reasonably well. Right, Mr. MICRØ, may you open the door again and let me in? I'm like a cat outside. I need you to bring me back in. Thank you, master. Well, actually, no, I'm your master, so feed me. Feed me more skins, Mr. MICRØ. Shall we move on to the Tombgate armor door, Mr. MICRØ? Does this get a good bit of sunlight? Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'll throw on these lights again. Really bring out the texture there.
Natural light, Mr. MICRØ. Natural light. It's free and available to us. And what do I see?
Okay, here, I'll turn them on.
Now, I will look at it at night time as well. So, okay. Right here, this is number 11. Do you remember when armoured door skins used to be a rare sight to see? I did, and they used to be great investments as well. Well, because we have so many Armour door skins that have come out this year, they all pretty much bottlenecked each other. And what do we have? Why, it's another $2.49 skin. I should quickly point out the double door over there, that's $2.99. This armoured door is $2.49. And it is a bit worrisome because with so many single armoured door skins that have appeared this year, they just never really... Go look at all the ones that have come out in 2022. Go find me one that's in the positive at the moment compared to its rust store price. Not one right now is in the positive. With so many options that have appeared just this year, it's just never really had time to flourish. Those skins never really had time to have people look. Oh, that sunlight looks really good in it there, though. I think he's done a very good job with the bump map in there and all the reflective light. Ooh, I actually like that. And then at night time, Mr. MICRØ, if you could turn on the lights again, please, sir.
Sure. And don't forget, to your right is the other side of the door. So you
yep.
have the
I was about to
double-sidedness to show off.
Do everything in reverse when I looked on the other side. But yeah, let's get a good look at that light. Get a good look at all of that. Looking very cool. So is this like just a skull? It's all spooky. What are we looking at here?
I couldn't figure it out. It sort of looked like almost like a sugar skull for a second when I first looked at it, and then I realized it's kind of not. But it's just got sort of gothic, but also abstract kind of vibe to it. I think it's cool. I think it's organic, and I think it's unique. So, I mean, it's from an art style perspective. I think it's pretty cool. Will it hold its store price?
Well, again, that's the issue of far too many armoured door skins. But what we can point out is this is apparently Mr. Wirecat's first submission to be accepted. So congratulations to you, good sir. And let's get a good look at it on the other side. Mr. MICRØ, do you reckon we should probably have you on the other side and open the lid? Maybe. Oh, so I'm just...
I could do that.
Yes. Get a good look at that. Ah! Oh, damn it, MICRØ. What are you doing? Go away. I ain't got any candy. Halloween was 2 weeks ago. On
the back side, maybe on the front as well, I'm just noticing being up close to it that there's some nice little details, nuts and bolts on the handle or on the key lock area.
Ah, yes.
Pretty nice.
So both sides at night. Let's just get a better look at it once more at night. There we go. Get a good look of all of that reflective light. So good job, Mr. Wirecat. Let's see what you make next. Is it going to be a double door version of this? Or is it going to be something different? Maybe this on a furnace. That wouldn't be a bad idea. So looking pretty good. Congratulations to you, good sir. Right. So, shall we move on to... I should move faster. The JPEG! The JPEG sheet metal door. Let's get you in the light. And let's just appear. Let's just go down a bit. There we go. So, a continuation of the JPEG collection. Looking very nice. Made by Mr. GBG. It's been a while since we saw a JPEG skin being accepted. Cool. How far back do we have to go for that? I think it's the tier 2. Because we've been waiting for quite some time on the tier 3 for a while. And in the meantime, we've had a bow, we've had a crossbow, we've had another weapon, I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was all just before Halloween time, I believe, or just after. So what we have here was one that was accepted, very nice to see. And what do I see at night time? Does it reflect anything? What do we see? No. If you could turn off the lights once more, Mr. MICRØ. And no, so nothing here glows. The only door this week that glows is the double doors. So what we have right in front of us is another $2.49 door skin. Yep, chat. We have not seen many sheet metal door skins do very well in terms of being a profit this year. We've had quite a lot of them being accepted. I think we've had... Well, it's definitely 10 plus overall. So, yeah, it's awkward. And another thing you might noticed is that quite a lot of these skins this week simply haven't really sold that much in the first 48 hours. I will discuss this point when we do the 48-hour analysis. Mr. MICRØ is off to hunt the helicopter. So, we've just had Halloween, haven't we? And if you recall, we had a whole bunch of those skins sell incredibly high amounts, didn't we? We saw like 5 of them sell over 30,000 sales in total from what we can see in SMM. So don't be too surprised if the amount of sales for all the skins that we see this week aren't as high as what we've seen just recently. Quite a lot of attention was put towards all of those Halloween skins, and it's going to probably take a while until we probably get into around December time, and then we'll probably see the amount of sales ramp up again. But everyone seems to be in a bit of a cool down. But you, the investors, can still make moves. We can still identify potential profits. All 3 of these doors are abnormal, so we don't necessarily need to rush into jumping in and making a purchase. Rather, we can use the abnormal time to our advantage, do our buy orders, and then on Thursday, then we make considerations if we want to buy into these. Because we've had a lot of single sheet doors, we've had a lot of single armoured doors this year, but in regards to that double door over there, that's probably the one that we're going to be chasing after. The one thing that we're going to be super invested into. And with that, Mr. MICRØ, I bring myself back to life. And I think now it's time we start discussing all of these weapons. So, chat, which of those 3 doors were you most impressed with? Feel free to discuss. And whilst you discuss those doors, how about you, Mr. MICRØ, whip out that Prototype 17 again. Wait, hang on a minute. That's not the Prototype 17. We got conned. Nope. This is...
You know what? I owe you one.
This is
Prototype 16, and I owe you one.
This is Anubis Dunk's Prototype 16. This is something I brought attention to on the workshop skin checks. When there's new content that's introduced to Rust, of course, a lot of skin creators like to make something in reference to that. Mr. Anubis thought, well, if we've got a Prototype 17, what about all the other previous prototypes? So he went ahead and he made a semi-automatic pistol skin. So this is the first SAP skin since JPEG SAP, and that's gone back about 2-3 months almost. And if you're asking, well, we'll just take a real quick look, and as you can see, no, that does not glow in the dark. Nope, I'm in pitch black darkness, you cannot see that. But you might notice the aim sight does reflect light very nicely, but... you know, that's only situational in terms of being helpful. And with that, Mr. MICRØ... wait. Give it a good reload. Yep. I shot the cloud. I don't like that cloud.
Now, why don't you show off... go into ADS and just twist through your times and just show off the sight as you go through different lighting conditions. I think it's an interesting approach, and it actually kind of works here. Not only is it a very high contrast... sight, but it's also got a bit of a gloss to it.
You could be mistaken to think this glows just by seeing how it reflects the light. When you look at it in dusk / dawn, yeah, and then only when it gets to pitch black. But then again, I am standing in front of light. So if I were to do it from here, yeah, you don't notice it as much then. Now so I'm standing in front of a light. It's reflecting that. If I stand away from that, so this is all now natural light. So if I were to make it daytime, yep, nice bright green. Does reasonably stand out better than all of this green, but this isn't super green, is it? This is all mountainous area. So if I were to start making it darker, yes, and then as it gets almost fully dark, not as noticeable on the aim sight there, and yeah, now you can't see a thing. I mean, you can still see your aim sight, but not as easily as you'd want it to. So yeah, we of course can't have glow-in-the-dark aim sights for our skins anymore, as per what Face Punch has requested. So yeah, we wouldn't likely see any more marketable glow-in-the-dark aim sight skins from here on now. And if you recall from the previous week, the Prototype 17 weapon itself does have a glow-in-the-dark aim sight. And we did discuss, well, if you make skins for it, would it also retain that glow-in-the-dark sight? Most likely would. Would you be able to change the colour of that glow-in-the-dark aim sight? We don't know. But we'll find out eventually, hopefully. And Mr. MICRØ, if you could strike a pose. Well, got a nice gear set up, do we? All loot leader up. Loot leader? Yep, that's correct. A favourite of Mr. MICRØ's. He has exquisite taste. So if we could just get this... Yeah, let's get a good bit of the sunlight. I like all the ridges there. Looks very good. Mr. Anubis Dunk, you did a very nice job of this. Well timed. Good effort. And of course accepted. It's been a while since we've seen a sap skin. However, we need to discuss how good might it be in terms of an investment. And unfortunately, from what I have noticed, sap skins just haven't been doing very good this year. Ever since the recall update, there was a lot of attention towards them. A lot of people were anticipating them to become super duper insanely powerful. Oh, yes. But as time has gone on, the skins just haven't really made that much of an impact in terms of being super profitable. Yes, there were influences just before that update, but we haven't seen the prices hold ever since then. And we have discussed this all ever since way back when, just before June, we're discussing what skins might rise up in price and whatnot. We went through the glow-in-the-dark skins, didn't we, Mr. MICRØ? So, memories. But, yeah, even then, we just haven't seen those more valuable skins that we considered. Even they aren't doing super good at the moment. So, a new sap skin, we'll have to consider how much it sells, and then we'll have to consider, is it a great opportunity to put some buy orders down or make a purchase? Let's wait until Wednesday, and let's wait and consider until then. So, Mr. MICRØ, thank you for posing, much appreciated. Shall we move on to Predatory MP5 made by Mr. Verona? And immediately, what do you notice? A very nice, helpful yellow-orange aim sight. Compared to all of the black of the skin, it's very nice. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say it's black. Like, only a part of this skin is textured. I mean, technically, I guess all of it is a texture, but, like, the colourful part doesn't necessarily go all over the skin itself. So, that is helpful. Now, maybe not for this mountainous area, because that is kind of a yellowy green. But in most other environments, that's going to help out a lot. That is where a colourful aim sight definitely makes a big difference. And if I were to shoot, and if I were to reload. Very cool looking skin. Very cool design. I wonder if that turns into a collection. Mr. Verona, it's in your hands. What might you showcase for us soon? Now, I did take a good look at this. This is supposed to be a bear, correct? Or a lion? I remember looking at this, the skin checks.
It looks like a wolf, sort of. I didn't actually verify what the artwork depicts. It's just got sort of a cool abstract kind of. It's definitely animal eyes, right? But I didn't look for any deeper than that.
Mr. MICRØ, strike a pose.
Okay.
Have you turned invisible?
No, I have not. I just encountered a challenge with my inventory space here, so I
Yep, no worries.
ran around the corner to stash a few things.
Okay, it's all good, buddy. Just look good. Show me what you got. Strike a pose. Oh, yes. Oh, tell you what. That weapon with your setup definitely brings out the best of that gun. Ooh. So, chat, what do you reckon? Wolf? Bear? Lion? When I first looked at it, I thought it was like a small face. The ridge of the nose, I thought was like a little tiny mouth. So, it's like...
It definitely has the look of a predator.
Yes.
Of a hunter type animal.
Yes. And MICRØ, would you consider yourself a predator?
We're treading dangerous.
Oh, I should have said that way.
Absolutely not.
Oh, I shouldn't have said it that way. Okay, don't deserve that, do I? Right. So if we could get it just at like dusk, so let's just get a good
little reload action, and I'll put it on my back too, and I'll show what it looks like in a holstered position.
So what about if I just zoom around and get the side again during the dusk? Yes, looking very good there. Now, Mr. MICRØ, do you want to put it onto your back?
Yeah.
Yep. Stands out very nicely. I think you did a very good. You did a good choice there for picking out this collection. I think it brings out the best of that skin. How about we make it fully dark? Could you walk into the darkness, Mr. MICRØ?
Sure.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
When I look at this gun, I think actually it does look really cool.
That reflects light very nicely. Could you walk backwards ever so slowly? Yeah. Yeah. That looks good. I think Mr. Verona did a very good job of this. If only we could figure out what animal it is. Do you know what? I think we should also quickly... Do you still have the prototype sap?
Yes, I do.
Would you be able to put that on your holster real quick? I think if we're going to do this... would you be able to put it on... Yeah, now turn around ever so slightly, Mr. MICRØ. So I can see the...
That's on my right.
It's your right leg,
right?
yeah. So yeah, that's what it looked like. That's what it looks like there. So if I could make it daytime. Ah, the light. Ah. And then... let it brighten up. So yeah, it's fully black on a loot leader. So remove your pants, MICRØ. Yes, that might help. If so.
I could. If
Oh, lovely. Yes, well done, Mr. MICRØ. He's committed, chat. So yeah. Yep, that's what that looks like. I thought if we're going to show off the MP5 and all the other weapons, we should also do the pistol justice as well. So, Mr. MICRØ, could you quickly pull out the MP5 once more?
Can I put my pants back on?
Yes, you may put your pants back on, please.
Okay.
Please do. So, yes, helpful, interesting, nice looking skin. However, it's an MP5, and that's a problem. Because, well, MP5 skins have been kind of ruined ever since the recoil update. And, well, with less demand to use the skin in-game, well... no, less demand to use the actual gun in-game leads to less demand to use the skins in-game, which, of course, leads to lower skin prices. It's unfortunate, but this is what's happened to the MP5. It's just not as in demand as it used to be. And MICRØ's upset. Mr. MICRØ, shall we move on to the next weapon, unless you have something you might want to say in regards to this?
Nope, I got nothing to add. All I could say is it's a pretty cool skin. I like how the orange sight matches the orange and red colors he used in the gun. The whole thing has a nice, finished, tidy feel to it, and it's pretty slick. Thank you.
I thought I could get my own back. Right, done that, and now move on to the military SAR, made by Mr. Robstar. What do we have right in front of us? Oh, so helpful aim sight colours. So, let's just get a good look at that at night time. Yep, as you can see, does not it does not glow, and we'll get it around dusk time. Yep, still reasonably okay. Lights are on, yep. So doesn't really. So if I make it fully dark and then slowly walk in, the red aim sight takes a while for it to appear. So not super reflective, but during the day, more than helpful enough to help stand out in most environments. And reload. So this, of course, is also a continuation. Let's get a good look at Mr. MICRØ. Wabam, pulling it out, looking good. So, Mr. MICRØ, what do we have here? This is a continuation of the military collection. In the workshop, Mr. Robstar refers to this as the modern military SAR, but, well, face punch, they'd rather just call it military, along with all of the armour and clothing pieces that we've had. But, one thing I have noticed, Mr. MICRØ, and it relates to Mr. GBG as well. So last week we showed off Robstar's lightweight hoodie and pants, didn't we? And it's got me thinking, like, well, hang on a minute. I've noticed that we've got two of their weapons, but this week we ended up with no clothing and armour, and I was like, well, maybe they're holding it back. And It only really dawned on me because I've noticed both GBG and Robstar didn't get their clothing accepted this week. Their clothing and armour accepted. GBG obviously with the JPEG tier 3. Robstar with the lightweight hoodie and pants version 3. But like, the fact that they both got something else accepted, but not their clothing and armour, in a week with no clothing and armour, it just kind of like leaves me thinking, we've seen this happen before, haven't we? And we did. Do you remember, like, back in August time? Do you remember when we had that weird drought of no clothing and armour skins for a long time? Mm-hmm. And then we ended up getting all of the black gold and the skull killer, and life was good again, MICRØ. and then it just seems like we're going through the pattern all over again. We did have complete the sets fairly recently where we had a lot of clothing and armour skins. I mean, it felt right for that occasion, didn't it? We saw a lot of things there, such as the Camouflage, the Pixel, and of course the Knights Templar. That was good. But it's just a bit odd how we've had so many weapon skins. Like, this is the fourth. We've had 2 weeks worth of Halloween SAR skins. Last week we've seen, what was it? It was the Recycler SAR. Now we've got the Military SAR, and I think we're probably going to see another SAR next week potentially. Oh, what might that be? So there's a lot of SAR skins being accepted. I'm a bit worried in regards to whether this one's going to be a profitable investment as well. So, like, it just seems odd how we're not getting clothing and armour again. But will we potentially see a week where we get tons of clothing and armour? And unfortunately, with the likes of another SAR skin, because we've had so many in such a short amount of time, I wouldn't be surprised at all if this doesn't sell as much as as some have earlier this year. And I wouldn't be surprised if it suffers in terms of it being an investment. So let's get a good look at that at night. Could you stand a little bit more forward, Mr. MICRØ?
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you. And then, yeah. Very nice piece of work here, Mr. Robstar. I think you've done a very good job. I like all of the... would you say that's leather? On the front part? No.
Well, on the front grip, it looks
like
a composite plastic material.
Something like that. It really does look the part. Military grade weaponry. A lot of people do appreciate this, and you did a very good job of adding the scope there, because it definitely brings out the best of it. Makes it look a whole lot more cooler. So, right, Mr. MICRØ, shall we move on to...
show that on my back.
Oh, yes.
You have an angle there.
Ooh, could you do a little turn, a little right and left? We'll do it during the day as well. Yeah, looking really good there, Mr. MICRØ. So, looking pretty good. Thank you, Mr.
I think you did it. Yeah, it's got a nice... I mean, just like the rest of the weapons in the set, it's got a nice subdued tone to it. You know, earth tone, kind of... I don't know if you'd call that coyote tan or like a desert...
Desert camo.
I don't know what you'd call it, but it's...
Desert camo would probably be the best thing to say.
Look at how well it matches the grassy terrain just beyond my, where I'm looking towards right now, that field out there. It kind of blends right in. So if you're going to be out running around in the grassy biome or the desert, or maybe some, in between those areas, this is a, perfect skin to match that terrain.
Looking very good. But I'm still worried.
SAR's really strong right now. So.
Yeah. But with the amount of SAR skins, it's a problem. We've had a SAR skin every single week for the past month. And each of those, well, if you look at the first Halloween skin, the second one, even the Recycler SAR from the previous week, they're all down now. So, yeah, something to be cautious about. So, I'm not super confident with this one. And we're probably getting another SAR skin very soon as well. So, we'll discuss that a little bit later on. Mr. MICRØ, shall we move on to... Not this, the wrong way round. Well, what is this I hold in my hands? It is the Diablo Python, which unfortunately had a bit of a spelling mistake. But that should be corrected by the time we have the next Rustle rotation. The skins will be updated, and the name should be fixed by then, hopefully. So we've got a cool looking Python skin right here. Very nice, very cool. Supposed to be on fire, I believe, but he can't necessarily show fire on a skin that well. And just shows all the what would you call it?
Like glowing embers, maybe.
Embers, perfect. That's what I meant to say. So, if we could just make it slightly darker, get a good look at that. So that aim sight, yes, it's coloured orange, helpful, but second it starts to get a little bit dark, it's not so helpful anymore, is it? And then yeah, so yeah, doesn't reflect light that much. If I get closer to this light, oh wow. Wow, you do not want to reflect at all, do you? Wow. So that's not the most helpful of aim sights with the lights nearby. But, you know, revolvers, how well have they been doing this year? We've had quite a lot this year, and again, it's another situation where they're just not super profitable. Mr. MICRØ, strike a pose, look well, look good. Who are you aiming at? Who are you going to put down, Mr. MICRØ? Oh! Ah! Okay, so show some discipline, Mr. MICRØ. What do we have?
Now, you know, it's really hard to show this off, but this also has a like a demonic kind of imagery thing on the handle. I think that's a Baphomet, like a goat guy, like, which is
What? Oh, sorry. I was. Oh, if you could just lift it up. Oh, that's your gloves. So you can't see it. You have to. Do you have to drop it?
I'm gonna put it on the ground here. Can you get a close up on the handle?
Oh yeah. I mean that worked. It is called El Diablo. So cool. Nice little detail there. Unfortunately, you don't notice it when you hold it.
Yeah, it's like a skull with horns, right? That's actually a better description of what that is. There's a couple different variations of that you see on different like cultist or demonic kind of imagery, and well, he did a pretty good job incorporating that.
I like
But
the
you
design.
can't really see it. I guess you could see it if it was on my hip. You could see that graphic there.
If you want, we could set that up. Not super noticeable, is it?
Let me put that on my hip. See what that looks like down there.
Oh, you're over here. Hello, Mr. MICRØ. Yep, you do notice it. When we're looking at Mr. MICRØ, when he's just got it holstered to his side, if you could just turn to your right, turn backwards from your right side, Mr. MICRØ.
Turn backwards from my right side.
So spin around backwards from your right side. Sorry about that. Yeah. So
is this the angle? Is this good?
Yeah, that's good. I was going to say, if you, yeah, that's perfect. Because trying to get your hand out of the way, that's what I was trying to do. Yes. Looking good. I get the feeling it might have been better if it glowed in the dark. But not everybody wants a glow-in-the-dark weapon, do they? But it would look cool, chat. It would look cool. Don't you want to look cool? Don't you want to look cool, chat?
I do want to look cool.
You do look very cool, Mr. MICRØ. Don't you worry. You are the coolest. So
that's why we buy skins, right?
Yes. We want to look very interesting with our designs. Our makeshift designs, loadouts, stand out, be unique.
I'm getting a phone call, so I'm going to go on mute here, but go right, continue on, please.
Okay, that's all good, sir. So, what we have right here is another Python skin. Of course, I've said that many times. But Python skins, whilst we've had many of them this year, and they have sold reasonably well, there is a big problem, and that is they just don't really go up in price that much. It's very, 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 very awkward. Now, is it mainly a case of because we probably had far too many this year, and compared to what we saw before? That very likely could be an answer. Take, for example, the lesser version of this, the revolver. Every time we see a revolver skin, they tend to do very nicely, don't they? We don't get many of them, but with the Pythons, we do see them quite frequently. Now, we've had quite a bit of a drought since the last one, but early this year, we kept seeing them very frequently. I believe we've had about 10 this year, I think it's definitely close. But, yeah. Tell me how many of them are in the positive compared to the restore price. Yeah, that's a bit awkward, isn't it? So, Mr. MICRØ, whilst it looks cool, it is a bit of a problem. We, the investors, have to be cautious about these things. But you never know. As we get closer and closer to post-Christmas time, maybe it'll bounce back up in price. Well, we would expect all skins to go up in price, but you won't know until we get to that point. So, will this potentially rise up then? Let's see. Will it do better than its restore price then? I don't think it's worth the risk. So, not something I'm going to put my money towards, it's basically. Mr. MICRØ, I'm going to move on to the next weapon. The last weapon. Are you all good now, MICRØ?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, that's fine. No worries, buddy. Right, so we have right here. I should also quickly point out the El Diablo Python was made by Aeros. And the LR300 I have right here, the Cybercode LR300, is also made by Aeros. That's something we don't really see that much, Mr. MICRØ, is it? We don't really see a skin creator get 2 skins accepted during the same week. Yet, lo and behold, that's exactly what happened here. So
It does happen occasionally when they're submitted during different weeks. You know, I guess we sort of have a rule in the workshop that you have a limit of 1 item per week. Or I mean, I guess there's cases if it's an item set like a tier 3 mask and chest plate, that's totally fine. But it's kind of a restriction we all have to follow. That you can only have 1 type of item of a weapon or something like. You can have alternate color schemes, but it's got to be 1 design.
yeah,
So,
and we also did just have like Halloween, so. Maybe Face Punch felt like, we want an LR300, and this was probably the only one that was available. To their liking.
These were submitted during different weeks, so that is in fact the case here.
Yeah. So, nifty looking LR300. Mr. MICRØ, would you like to strike a pose? Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. Looking pretty good. So this is like a Matrix gun. Yeah, actually, no, it is. Yeah, so it's all in binary and whatnot. I'm sure the influence is the Matrix.
It's got almost, it gives me vibes, and I don't think it's copied from this, but do you know the Corrupted set? It sort of has like that digital sort of look, and the thing that makes me think it is that there's a skull. When you ADS on the front sight post, there's a skull.
I did see that. I saw it a lot. When you're at night time and you're near some light, it stands out a whole lot better. So... looking good. Now let's get you at the night time. You can put it on your back if you want, real quickly. Spin it around. Let's go. Sorry, I had to do it from there. So, ooh, okay. And we'll do it at night time, so it stands out a fair bit better. You can do a nice little spin around, slow spin, Mr. MICRØ. Looking good. Yep. Now you can whip it out, put it in your hands. Looking good, Mr. MICRØ. Now, LR300 skins. The last one to be accepted was the Venomous LR300. And that was quite some time back. It's a good month or so. So that didn't sell very well. And I don't think any of the LR300 skins have sold very nicely in terms of being a positive investment. So, yeah, this is a problem where it's a nice weapon, but to be able to get it in game and whatnot, it affects its gun demand, and, well, with a lower gun demand leads to a lower demand for its skins equals lower skin prices. And this is a problem that we are well aware of, and it's something that we're always having to be cautious of, especially with the newer skins. And if we've seen the patterns and the recent trends and whatnot, that LR300 skins just aren't in demand. Maybe people only specifically pick out some of them. You might notice there's a good few LR300 skins that are expensive, and of course the one that is glow-in-the-dark aim sight. Of course that one's going to be more expensive, but like people just aren't super keen on new LR300 skins, and they tend to get pretty cheap pretty quickly. So this is another situation where I'm just not trusting it. I don't want to buy it. I put a buy order down, yeah, but not something I'm going to be putting my money towards. And unfortunately, with all of these weapons, it's kind of everything I'm not super keen on. Like none of these weapon skins are abnormal. They're all regular skins. They're only going to become marketable when the Rust store rotates next week. And I'm looking at all of them. I'm just not super keen in them. And you might notice yourself, they're not selling very well, which is unfortunate. Looking very good with the aim sight there, Mr. MICRØ. Ooh, that looks cool. But yeah, guys, I remember earlier when I said Halloween really looks like it's taken its toll. People spent a ton of money and they probably just aren't super keen in spending some more. Well, go look at the workshop sales so far. Go look at the Steam market sales so far on SCMM for all of these skins. I've said the wrong thing. I meant to say... think, Hedge, think. Go look on SCMM. Look at how many sales we've seen so far for all of these weapon skins. And you might notice they're not doing that good. Now, is it a case of these are skins that people don't want to... Are these skins that people just don't care for weapons they don't use that much? That very likely could be part of the influence, part of the reason why they're not doing too good, not selling that much. Or is it just fatigue because they just don't have that much money left after Halloween? There's multiple things that could build up to that context. But as of now, not as many skins are selling. Skin prices on the Steam market are suffering. Hopefully, when we get to Christmas time, Mr. MICRØ will see a lot more money being thrown around. But for now, that's what we got. All weapon skins are not abnormal. Only the free deployable door skins, those are abnormal. But out of everything I see here, only the double door is the one thing that's got my interest, to be honest. So, we'll talk more about that in the 48-hour analysis. But for now, Mr. MICRØ, do you have any other words for this LR300?
Nope, I got nothing enough to add here. I mean, I guess I could show it with a weapon flashlight on it.
Sure, if you want.
If I don't know if that factors into anybody's decisions about how it looks, but
looks pretty good there. Ooh, yeah. How about you walk into the darkness a little bit? That does look pretty cool, but you don't really notice the skin there, do you? So, and then we'll turn it slightly to dawn. Mr. MICRØ's on the prowl. Yes. Looking pretty good there. Looking pretty good. He's on the hunt. Right, Mr. MICRØ, shall we start discussing the workshop skins? Are you ready? Right. So, if you could walk over here, Mr. MICRØ. Let me just quickly move some of these things out of the way. As I need your help discussing a certain door over here. Mr. MICRØ, would you like to take it away? We have the Demonic Raven double door. A continuation of the single door that we saw released a good couple weeks ago. Mr. MICRØ, I'm pretty sure you've had a hand in this.
Yep. As a matter of fact, this is indeed a collaboration. The design and the concept is done by Morphus. 3D modeling, all the texturing and everything is really his idea. I contributed the glow part of this. You know, I did that on my side in Blender, and then I did some renders and then the screenshots that we put on the workshop page. So I can't take much of the credit here. I really owe most of the credit to Morphus, but this is our joint effort, and it was submitted. It would be technically a typical skin if it was accepted next week, but since we have some other events happening this next week, we really don't know what to expect. So and that goes for all of these doors in this lineup here. But yeah, this is a continuation of our single sheet metal door, and as we've already discussed, there's some interesting phenomenon when it comes to double sheet metal doors. So we can only really sit back and see what happens. I think there's a nice continuation of the theme. We'll see. And I'll add that the single door sold reasonably well, I would say. So it definitely stands to reason that this is a contender. But as always, there's a lot of strong competition in the workshop and a lot of great and excellent designs that people come up with. So all I can really say is good luck to everybody that's putting those skins out there, and we can only wait and see what happens.
So one thing I mentioned earlier, when we compared it with the other double door, the Cobalt container double door, that whole thing glowed. But Mr. MICRØ, as we talked only 2 weeks ago, if you could turn off the lights as well to really bring this out. Ooh, Mr. MICRØ, we literally just discussed how... Yep. Do you see MICRØ? Do you see MICRØ? You can see his name, but can you see his head appear in front of that door? Mr. MICRØ definitely takes into consideration what he said earlier. When you properly position the lighting to only appear at the upper part of the door, you can stand in front of it and you won't be noticed. When you compare it to the other door, so MICRØ, if we could walk over to... is it still up? Oh. So yeah, if MICRØ does the same there, crouching and walking across, you can see him. So he's taken the design decision there to only position the glow-in-the-dark portion in the upper part of the door so that he can hide at night and stand in front of it. And then we'll go back over to yours, Mr. MICRØ. Yeah. So I can see him walking there. And you might see his head bob. You might see his head bob ever so slightly if he patiently, like, slowly moves across. But it definitely doesn't give it away as much. So he's taken that into consideration. And if I were to make it daytime, I can see him right there. Yes. So if I could rise up a bit, do the same thing again. Yep, slowly walk across. And there we go. So I really want to see this door accepted, Mr. MICRØ. The first one was great. Sold very, very nicely. Very, very happy for you. Everybody in the chat right here was very happy to see that as well. But yeah, just to have that available to you, safely walk outside your base. It's also something you can still put inside your base. You can still coordinate yourself and see where it is and know where to go and whatnot. But it's just that extra little bit of help right there that you've taken into consideration. Now, yes, it wasn't accepted as an early pick. That's fine. I still think you've got a great chance, a great potential to see that being accepted over the course of the next few weeks. That could be your Christmas wish, Mr. MICRØ. Or something else being accepted, surely.
I'm in it for the pride of contributing to a game I love, and I'm overjoyed to have even just the single skin accepted. So if it got a continuation, I mean, I would be overjoyed. But like I said before, there's lots of strong competition as always, and may the best skin have success. I don't know what else to say. I don't want to.
MICRØ will fight you.
Up on too much of a pedestal here.
It's all right, mate.
I'm a newcomer to the skin game, so you know it's like I gotta have respect for all the people who have come before me and come up with a lot of great designs that I was inspired by. So
should we take a look at the next door then, if you want?
Yeah.
So Mr. MDE back with the Cold Hunter armored door. So he's now dabbling into deployables as well. Do you remember last week we were talking about Tempered making the dabbling into deployable skins? Look what we got right here. And I'll be honest with you, very cool looking design. Now it's not like so. I what's the best way of saying this? When I look at it up real close, you can see it's more like paint and whatnot instead of like a very like. Oh, how do I properly say this, Mr. MICRØ? I can see up close it's supposed to be like icy camouflage in a way. I know Cold Hunter was trying like the weapons, for example, were trying to be portrayed as like so I see that you've got the light thing, so I turn the lights off from my thing. I see like it is kind of like glossy, like ice itself and whatnot, and he's done a very good job with the reflections and the light map. But oh, look at that! You can really see like the icicle bit stand out.
It's got a lot of depth to it, so I think of it like it's sort of like have you ever seen like old ancient glacier ice or like an ice cave or something?
I've been inside a glacier. I went to Switzerland. Yeah.
Nice. That's really cool. Did it look anything like this inside?
Yeah, really thick, dark blue ice. It's like if you touch it, it's just really hard. It's really awkward. But like when you see like the edges of this, he's got the right idea for the white edging part. I don't know what to say that, how to say that effectively. You know what I mean?
I don't know if you'd say it's frost or if it's like yeah, I
It's
guess I'm at a
awkward,
loss for a term as well.
but
I think it's cool, and I think it definitely conveys a frosty, frigid, frozen, icy, uh, kind of thing. So,
it's just
what else can I say?
during the day, I look at it and I think that looks like it's supposed to be something that's trying to be camouflage. When I make it a bit dusky in the sky, yeah, you really do see it. When it's not reflecting light, it doesn't really do that good of a job in terms of trying to imitate ice, which is it's a bit awkward to say. But hey, I like what he's done here, Mr. MDE. You've been very successful with your skin creating, and it's very interesting to see that you've now dabbled into this. Cold Hunter, one of the skin collections I thought would do very nicely as we approach December time. Loads of people like to invest into Christmas festive, Santa, cold related, winter related, Arctic related, you name it. All the cold themed skins they like to invest into and use around December time. It's a trend I've seen every single year, and I'm very happy to see Mr. MDE here has made a very interesting looking door skin, double door skin to potentially be accepted. So that is a double armoured door skin made by Mr. MDE, the Cold Hunter double armoured door. Mr. MICRØ, shall we proceed to the next double door?
Mm-hmm.
And what do we have here? Gentlemen, do you recall a good two... Go on.
You know, being an armored door, I guess you could mention that a lot of times armored doors have two sides. I think this is just single-sided, this door here.
Would you like to open the door, please, Mr. MICRØ?
I mean, it does actually have a unique pattern on both sides, but it doesn't have any remarkable... here, you know what I'll do is I'll take it down and I'll put it down backwards.
Okay.
The best way to show that. It almost, you know, you probably couldn't tell it apart if they weren't right next to each other, but I do believe those different opposite sides are different.
Yeah, I notice it. It's just not super obvious. It's not like it's a completely different pattern in terms of something completely different. It's still ice. It's all good, but thank you for pointing that out, Mr. MICRØ. Should we also point out, is there anything different on the other side of your double door? Or is
No, there's not.
Okay.
Sheet metal doors share the same texture map for both sides, so what you see is what you get when it comes to that.
What you see is what you get. I don't want to sing the rest of that song. Anyway, what do we have right here? Why, it's the science-based double door. We remember the sheet metal door being the body bag door, if you recall. That came out a good, 2 months ago? No, it's not that far back, is it? Has it really been that quick? No, it's a fair few weeks ago. We saw a sheet metal door appear in front of our eyes. It looked nice. It looked cool. It was called the body bag door. But on the workshop, it was called the science-based door. And this is made by, let's see here, Oasis. It's made by a group of people, if I recall. And, yeah, pretty much, if you remember what that door looked like, well, it's pretty much exactly the same, but with two. All wrapped up. What might be in between there? I don't want to know. It probably smells. But yeah, it probably does. Do you know what they could have done? If they were to turn this into a Halloween skin, you could have like a hand accidentally popping out or something. Like, that would look cool. So, let's just get a good look at that. So this is during dusk with the lights reflecting on... I don't want to say it's leather. What would you call this? Like a plastic...
It's like a heavy vinyl or a heavy like plastic material. Like, you know, you think of a trash bag or a body bag. It's got to be some pretty heavy duty stuff to keep all that stink and slop in there. So.
Well, yeah, it's... nobody knows what goes on those bases. So yeah, I've got a good look at the texturing there. And then we'll move to the side, bring it back to the daylight. Hello, daylight. Oh, there you go. That took a while to update. There we are. So, double door skins. I would like to see more of them. And people, of course, are contributing them. But will Face Punch accept them? Let us hope. Let us hope, Mr. MICRØ. Mr. MICRØ, shall we move on to the Constellations single sheet metal door? Now, I do believe... you can open the door if you want. Hello, Mr. MICRØ. Are you trying to inform me that there might be a different...
No,
Hey, look.
just want to let you know that the other side of this door is exactly the same.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's a single sheet metal door.
Because we did talk about that last week. We had the double... What was it? Double armored door?
That's well, we had... Yeah, that's
Yeah. So if you could turn the lights off, Mr. MICRØ, so we can get a good look at Mr. Cavency's continuation of the Constellations collection. And yeah, we recently saw the inclusion of the double sheet metal door being accepted. We've seen some more instances appearing on the workshop, but will they appear anytime soon? Well, let's find out. So, good looking addition right here, Mr. Cavency. Looking very good. Got very nice lighting. As you can see, all of the neon sign railing all put up there. I like the idea of what you did. You did a very good job with the Outer Planets collection. You're doing a very good job here with the Constellations collection. Let's see if that gets accepted anytime soon. I mean, you could probably have one version with a very big North Star for Christmas time, right? Hey, make the North Star collection. You could have... Because he keeps making space-themed collections, he might as well do one that's kind of close to Christmas time. But you did a very good job. I look forward to it. Keep up the good work. Right. Mr. MICRØ, any words that you might want to offer?
I think it fits the theme. I think it very much continues that same style he's been working in. I think the diamond accents are pretty cool in the way that they tie in with like the star shapes. I think it's a well executed skin. The glow has a pretty nice feel to it. So let's wait and see.
Yeah, let's wait and see. So, Mr. MICRØ, if you could turn around, what do you see at your feet? Why, it's the Toxic Wolf sleeping bag. It's all gunky here. MICRØ, why didn't you clean it up before we put it on the showcase? Look at it. Spilling...
Used.
So, this is Mr. Zinc. So, Zinc, creator of the Toxic Wolf set. We've seen Toxic Wolf hunting bow. Cool, that's definitely several weeks ago, wasn't it? We saw that. Was that accepted? Yes, it was. Yes. There was a week where we saw like 3 hunting bows being accepted within a month. Well, what do we see here? It's a continuation of that collection, the Toxic Wolf collection. It is the Toxic Wolf sleeping bag. Now, he did try to make Toxic Wolf armor before, wasn't accepted. But now we see his attempt into dabbling into the deployables. And it's got like a big scratch there. You can see like the big teeth of the wolf. I guess the whole theme is like a radioactive wolf of sorts. It's all disgusting. So, chat, does that look appealing to jump into and be all nice and snug? I wouldn't say no. And we have seen quite a few sleeping bags being accepted recently. Maybe this is going to follow the trend and be accepted as well. I like the reflection of the light there and whatnot. How about if we just see if it glows in the dark? And at dusk with the lighting there, it looks very nice. Oh, that looks really good. But at night time, nope, no glow in the dark sleeping bag there. So nice work there, Mr. Zinc. Let's see if that gets accepted. Now, Mr. MICRØ, what else do we have? No, that's all the deployables. So, shall we move on to discussing weapons? What do I have in my pocket? So there is... Okay, we will have to point this out, won't we, Mr. MICRØ? There is the Last Friend collection, isn't there? So about 4 years ago, Mr. Little Ranger made a furnace skin. It was called Last Friend, if I recall. Or was it? Yep. And, well, I didn't realise that this, let's see, Rusty Robot AK-47 was actually a continuation. It's actually the Little Friend collection or whatnot. So, yeah. So we've actually got 2 of these skins to show off. I should have shown this last week, but I didn't know. But now we know. So we're going to do it justice. No helpful aim sight colouring there. Quick reload. And whilst I'm here, I'll also show the hammer. Does it glow in the dark? Let's go all the way. It does. Glow in the dark hammer friend. Now, if you whack him around the head, maybe you'll break him. And the AK does not glow in the dark, of course. But this does. Very helpful. Haven't had a hammer skin in quite some time. Hopefully, we'll see one being accepted soon. Maybe it's this one. Mr. MICRØ, are you prepared? Struck pose, Mr. MICRØ. I don't think we have the lights on.
Oh.
I'll do that, don't worry. Here we go. Right. So we'll show off the AK and the hammer. We can start with the hammer if you wish. So, hello little friend, how you doing? What'd you call him, Mr. MICRØ?
I haven't named him yet.
Ah, come on, you can figure... Chat, can you think of a name? Who can think of the best name to give this hammer? The little friend right here. So, let's just get a good spin around on you. It's got like a little clipping there. I'm not sure if it's meant to be like a toy. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, is it? Or is it meant to be like a genuinely helpful robot? Someone said, I'm not going to read that out loud. But...
Well, that's actually a term used in relation to hammers. So...
Do you want to say it then?
If you have a round hammer, like, you know, you can have a carpenter's hammer, which has a claw on the back for pulling nails. But there's other cases where you might use a hammer in metalwork or things like that. And if your hammer has a round portion on the back, that's referred to as a peen.
So someone wanted to call it Peen the Hammer.
I think that's pretty good. I mean, honestly, it incorporates hammer terminology, and that must be an expert in hammers out in the chat out there.
Yes, he's an expert with hammers. All right, so would you like to show off the AK-47, please?
Sure.
We're not asking for names for this one. So here is the Rusty Robot AK-47. Both of these skins were made by Little Ranger. Very prominent skin creator, just behind Bad Trip. He is the person with the second most skins accepted in all of Rust. So if we could just get that at night time. Mr. MICRØ, would you like to walk into the darkness ever so slightly?
Sure, can do.
Yeah, not noticeable, are you? So, MICRØ, would you be able to whip out the hammer whilst you're in the darkness? Yep, that is noticeable. Yep. Alright, bring back the AK, put it on your back, twirl it around. Oh, you probably already do, don't you?
Well, I can't tell you what's on my back right now.
I can. Yep. Yep,
Yeah.
I see the AK. Yes.
Okay.
Looking very good. So, cool little friend right there. Chat, would you like to see him being accepted? For all the skins that we've seen today, remember, you can go to the workshop and you can vote whether you want to see this in the game or not. Show your support to Face Punch. Show that you want it being accepted. Show that you want to see it in the game. That's all I ask. Show your support. So, Mr. MICRØ, shall we move on to Glister collection? Yes, we're back with Glister skins.
You know, I don't know. Does it make sense to show off the OG furnace like that's from that collection? Just to jog everyone's memory.
Sure. Like, if you want to grab that whilst I quickly show off all the Glister.
I have it right here.
Oh, okay then.
Down.
Does he speak? Yeah.
Tell me what he says. How's his breath smell?
Yeah, he's going. So yeah, chat. If you remember, this was a skin that came out like 4 years ago. So pardon my mistake for not realising. You know what? I want to get up real close to him. He seems a little broken, MICRØ. I think we need to patch him up. Don't you think we need to patch him up, Mr. MICRØ? We're helping him, MICRØ.
Well, he's our last friend, so we got to keep him alive.
Oh, I think he's too broken. We need to put him down. All right. So, yeah. Last friend collection. If you like it, go vote for it. Show your support. Help out Mr. Little Ranger. All right then, Mr. MICRØ. Shall we... No! I've got no friends now. Great. Thank you very much. And he found it funny. Right then, what do I have in my hand? Oh, didn't mean to look at you. I went and look at me. Sorry about that. I clicked the wrong thing. Yes. Why, I have... Get the lighting on. Right above. Give it a look. Give it a spin. Look at it glisten. Glister collection tools. Look at you. All bright and sequential. All very colourful. It's the Glister collection. Version 2 tools. Not that one. And here we are.
Did Samoda pay you for that jingle that you just wrote?
Well, if he gets these accepted, I should expect at least a little fee. I was just looking at it and I was just having fun. But yeah, Mr. Samota, who's been quite successful with his CSGO skins. Well, earlier this year we saw a lot of Glister skins being accepted. However, fairly recently it's been a bit. We did see the what was it? It was the crossbow for complete the sets. Am I correct? Yes, that was quite some time back. We did see a Glister crossbow. That was correct. Yes, and we've seen the likes of a Glister bow. We've seen the likes of some Halloween skins. Wasn't as successful with those, but I don't think we've had some tools in a while. It couldn't hurt to potentially see some Glister tools, some very colourful, stylish looking ones, and of course at night. Yeah, doesn't glow. Nope, that's an Eoka. Yep, that doesn't glow either. So, Mr. MICRØ, let's get a look at you. Mr. MICRØ, turn it to the side. What do you look like? Wow, that looks very bright, very shiny. So, oh wow, that looks a bit too shiny. Very reflective, at least it doesn't glow. Now, a lot of people did talk about... we did have that talk many months ago. Glow-in-the-dark tools, probably not the best of things to have, especially at night time, because other people can notice you. But rest assured, these don't glow. They're just very stylish and very nice. Could you whip out the pickaxe? Now, look at this man in his element, the miner's hat, the pickaxe in hand. Yes, and now he's going to throw it, apparently. You're not meant to throw it, you're meant to mine. Hi-ho, hi-ho, hi-ho. We should get you to sing that one day. Right. So, Mr. MICRØ, if you could just turn to the right ever so slightly. Get it to the... I want to look at it on the other side. Yep. All good, all good, all good. Right, I don't think there's much else to really showcase with this. Chat, do you like it? Yes or no? Don't know what you said there. Right. So, what do we have after this? Why, it's the continuation... No, I'm not meant to do this one, but yes, continuation of the Lowpoly Eoka. Wow, so, Mr. MICRØ. Oh, that was quick, I did it first try.
Wow, first
Chat,
try.
I deserve... Ah, stop it.
Oh.
I deserve a gift sub for doing that. I'm an expert. Yes, we have the Lowpoly Eoka. Eoka. We haven't had an Eoka for quite some time. I think we saw 3... No, it's two this year. We saw the cucumber and the pixel one. Is there another? No, that's it. And chat, if you recall, Lowpoly, we had all the core pieces, the hoodie, the pants, tier 2, tier 3. That all appeared a couple months ago. Quite a surprise to see that get a full collection. And it's been a while since we've seen another of the Lowpoly collection. Well, looks like we're seeing potentially another one appearing. So, this right here, made by Mr. Alpha. Let's see if this potentially gets accepted. Mr. MICRØ, can you strike a pose? Who are you aiming at today, Mr. MICRØ? Who are you threatening with violence, Mr. MICRØ? Does look a little bit weird. Were you about to say something?
Simple. It's I mean, it's by design simple, right? It's low poly, so it's got the... It kind of matches with the collection, you know, with its name. So I think that works. And the rest of the set was also rather plain. And I don't mean that as a to insult it in any way. I mean it's the theme. It's meant to be rather plain. So
I consider this more like I don't want to say gimmick in a bad way. It's a texture, but like, you know how he had Pixel? And I sat there and said, this kind of feels like more of a gimmick. And I also referenced the likes of the well, this and Pixel. There was another one, JPEG. Yes, that's it.
JPEG.
Yes. So they're more like a gimmick of sorts, aren't they? And like, Nothing wrong with that. They're attempting this in a different way. They're looking at this in a different perspective. Whereas loads of people just do tons of flashy colours. We just saw the Glister collection, didn't we? We just saw the big hatchet and the pickaxe. This type of skin, though, going about things in an ever so slightly different way, of course. But again, is this what people want? We saw the Lowpoly rock quite some time back. Wait, that was late last year. Yeah, and that sold very nicely. But in terms of all of these other Lowpoly skins, they haven't been... Thank you very much. They haven't been doing, super great. But it's a welcome addition to see. Collection being continued as well. Mr. MICRØ, could you put it on your waist? You could whip out the... oh, there you go. Give us a nice spin around. How does that look? That looks really cool on your hip. Looking pretty good there. Yeah, so could we potentially see the continuation of the Lowpoly collection? Could we potentially see a new Eoka skin appearing in a rust store near you? If you like it, remember, go to the workshop, show your support, vote for it. That's all we ask. And Mr. MICRØ, good thing that you're holding that bow right there, because that's actually the next skin that we're going to show off. What do we have in his hand? Well, we were discussing this quite a lot. Stump collection only gets stronger because we see more and more skins being submitted. What do we have right here? Why, it's the Stump hunting bow. Yes. That's all that needs to be said in regards to that. Mr. Y9J back at it again with even more skins. Oh, yeah, didn't realise you were going to put that down. Sorry, I'll look it from the side. It's all good. So, nothing on that side.
Let me put it back up with... I was actually switching to a conventional arrow because I had an HV arrow in there. I don't know if anybody has a preference for seeing it that way, but...
Let me get it during the day. If you want, Mr. MICRØ, there's a boar just in the distance if you think you can hit him.
Oh, look at that. Think I can hit him? That's a heck of a shot.
Ah, what was that? Boo!
No, I can't see him anymore.
It's all good.
For me I have it sort of closer to dark.
Yeah, that's all right. So, yeah, looking pretty sharp, looking pretty good. Mr. Y9J, we like your work, and we would like to potentially see this potentially getting accepted. All the tools, which we saw last week, or the door. We're very impressed with your furnace, and we're very happy to see you continuing it. Don't give up. I'm sure we'll see some more Stump in a roster rotation near you. Chat, if you like the work, if you like the design that he's put in with this, show your support. Tell Facepunch, I want this accepted in the game. It's as simple as that. Now, Mr. MICRØ, I actually don't have possession... Oh, sorry, I've done it again. I don't actually have possession of these extra weapons because there's a bunch of extra things that were put
in the box down here.
Yep, I'll grab them right now. So, literally, very, very recently, actually, whilst I'm here, let me just quickly get a good look at this. So this is the Stump hunting bow at night time. So just twist it here. If I were to press N, it does not glow. It does not glow. If I aim down, it does not glow. If I make it slightly brighter, that is what you see. Shoot. And yeah, simple as that. So, we've got some extra additions. Mr. MICRØ, it's the small box, correct? Thank you very much for this, Mr. MICRØ. So, uh-oh. Yeah, we might have a bit of a problem here. 3 of them haven't loaded. Oh no, they've just loaded. That's all good. So, chat, what do I have in possession? Hang on a minute. I don't... There you go. Now it's in. So, this took us by surprise. We've got some extra additions to show off to you. So what do I have in possession right here? We've got... So let's just get a look here. Are they both the same one, MICRØ? Because I know there's supposed to be 2 different versions of a Blackout MP5.
It could be that you took 2 of the same and I took 2 of the same.
Yeah. Do you want to trade?
Let's see. Is that what happened? No, no, these are different. One just has a different lower piece on the stock. Isn't that the difference here?
Because, we noticed this being submitted just before we're about to start, and we thought we should show it. Mr. MICRØ, I think they're the same.
No, no, no. Look underneath the shoulder stock on this one. It has an like a lower bar that goes across, and this one's fully cut out.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah. All right. Do you see that, chat? I'll just quickly zoom in. So MDE returns with the Blackout collection, continuing potentially with the MP5. So you can see the outline for what's supposed to be there. What we have is he's cut out the stock. Yeah. So that's been cut. But if we move over to this one, he keeps it there. So, not sure why he's done that, but it's interesting.
Well, the thing is about the one that's fully cut out is, and I think I was talking about this last week, there's a bit of an issue when it comes to deleting parts of the mesh that aren't meant to be deleted necessarily, or by making them transparent on the alpha layer. Like it leaves some awkward holes in the model that from first person you don't see them really badly, but if you look at them in third person, you could see through the gun in certain ways, or through that portion of the stock. I'm betting that you'll be able to see them on my back. You'll be able to see the oddities of that see-through portion if you look at it on when it's dequipped and it's in my inventory.
So yeah.
Come over to where I'm at and look at the stock of the weapon and look at it from the underneath side. You'll see that you can see right through it. And so by including the portion of the mesh that goes across the bottom, it sort of helps to, like, a little bit prevent that from breaking down. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you pivot around, as you continue pivoting around, you'll see that you can see basically entirely through the look in an upwards direction. Yeah, there you go. So, and if keep going around and go look from above, look at that butt stock from the from up above me, right, from the inside of the mesh. You'll see it totally disappears.
So all the way through there. I'm inside the gun.
But looking from outside the gun, looking downwards at the gun, you'll see that the stock,
the face is
see-through. And so, like, I don't think that's a problem. I don't think that breaks the game or anything.
You would never see... Actually, no, you would if it's on your back.
If it's on your back, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That might be a problem then. But then again, people probably don't care. They see Blackout collection continue.
That's right. And actually, he did that with the stock on the Blackout Bolty. It has a little bit of that, and I don't think anyone ever complained or made a fuss about it. I don't think it's a problem or means that it's broken in any way. It's just the nature of how these skins are made. The inside of the gun just doesn't have a texture to appear there. So, would that prevent Helk from accepting it? I don't think so. It's just a question of which one does he choose between these two choices. Now, if you come and look at this with the where it doesn't have quite so much cut out, it does a better job of maintaining that perception that it is just skeletonized and not kind of done with just deleting the texture map. So I think if either of the two has a chance of getting accepted, it would be this one with the more complete stock to it.
Yeah, I think...
because it has a more finished look to it.
I could see that 100%. So, Mr. MICRØ, if you want to strike a pose, get a good look at you. Mr. MICRØ holding... well, it doesn't really matter. The whole body's there. They're exactly the same, just the stock. So, yep, let's get a good look at you. Chat, are you looking forward to more Blackout skins, potentially? Would this be something you might want to invest in? Probably. But MP5 skins again, ooh, bit of a problem. But hey, custom SMG still sold very nicely, didn't it? What's stopping the MP5 from selling very well as well? So, looking pretty good. And we've seen it on your back as well. So, I think we've covered that. Sorry for the slight confusion there, chat. We literally only just got this in our hands Mr. Milho, no, sorry, he's got another skin he has. We'll show that in a second as well. But yeah, Mr. MDE, he continued to set. So good to see that, Mr. MDE. Now let's see if it gets accepted next week. It probably would. If we didn't get one this week, we'll probably see a Blackout skin next week, or the week after that. But then again, there is a special event happening next week, so we'll have to discuss that, won't we, Mr. MICRØ?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, sorry about the slight confusion as well, Mr. MICRØ. I didn't fully see it, but I'm sure a lot of other people didn't see it, so we had to really look at it, didn't we?
It's sort of hard to explain that too, like what it's a bit of a technical concept around the nuances of skin making, so
right.
Difficult to articulate.
Shall we take a look at the fish SAR made by Mr. Shedmon, I do believe. Same colour aim sight. Does it reflect light very well? Kinda. And then, yeah, let's get this during the day. Might not be super helpful. Reload. So, fish collection. Fairly popular, I assume. Sold very nicely. Mr. Shedman's been very happy about that. And, yes. So we've had the likes of a fish rock. We've had the likes of a fish furnace, fish gloves, fish balaclava. Had a lot of fish things, but not a fish SAR. That's actually taken me quite surprised. Quite for a surprise. So, Mr. MICRØ, do you like your fishy friend right here? I like the scales. I think he's did a good job there. That's looking pretty good. But then again, another... Oh, are you proud of this?
That's my response.
Thank you very much. It's another SAR skin, isn't it? And we've had loads of SAR skins. And that might be a problem if we do see it accepted fairly soon. However... Mr. Shedmon, I think you've done a very good job over here. It's definitely Shedmon, right? I'm remembering because he came. He said hello. And he said, "Hey, how you doing? Make the kilt." Because yeah, fish collection still missing its kilt. We're hoping to see that potentially get accepted one day, maybe. But yeah, we were expecting potentially to see some fish collection for complete the sets, and well, don't think we did we? So that was unfortunate. How about during night time? Yes. Get a good spin on that. I like the scales. I think he did a very good job with those scales. They have lots of gloss, reflect light very nicely. Stand out very nicely as well. Good job, Mr. Shedmon. And your wooden paneling looks really good as well. I was going to sit there and say that. So wood-like. Right, Mr. MICRØ, should we move on?
It's like he's got like have you ever seen those nice wooden benches that you know obviously for seating, but there's a
you really do sound like an older man now. Oh, those lovely benches. Oh.
I do love a good bench, and I'll tell you those rocking chairs. No, it looks like it's made out of like teak wood or something, right? It's like that, a type of wood you'd have around a very wet environment, and so it all fits together pretty nice.
Yes, I do. Yes, I'm very good with my benches.
Bench expert.
It's for my idle camera. Oh, shut up. Right, so Mr. MICRØ, shall we move on to?
Is your bench teak wood?
It's rotten. Oh, shut up. Alright, anyway. Shall we move on to the tools? So, what do I have in my possession? It's the Raven tools. Raven collection is turning into a collection. I'm surprised by this, but I think he's done a really cool idea for this. Whoa, look at that. So, we haven't seen stone tools for quite some time, and I think... What's his name again? Buttbeard.
Buttbeard. Yeah.
Buttbeard. Right, okay, his name is Buttbeard. I'm not making a joke. He calls himself that, and I'm sure he's proud of it. So, Mr.
This has a pretty cool, like, it almost looks like Plague Doctor kind of themed, right?
Yeah.
The stone pickaxe. I mean, it's called the Raven set, but you know, I think he did a pretty good job. You know, coming up, we've seen so many stone tool sets, and to have something sort of unique that that's based on an already existing set, I think he did a pretty good job.
I think he's done a very good job as well.
Cool.
Both of the stone portions replaced with like a bird skull. So that looks really cool. Mr. MICRØ, shall we zoom in on you? Get a good look? Give us a bit of a turn. Let's get a good look at that. Yes, so. Whoa. There we go. Ooh, looking very good. Looking very sharp right there. I like what I see. So, Raven Collection literally appeared just last week with the poncho and the deer skull mask. And sold very nicely. Both of them selling over 35,000, if I recall. They've definitely got both over 35,000. I know, yeah, that will be the case. So, I'm not surprised we're seeing the collection being continued. Mr. Buttbeard, you've got something here, and a lot of people like it. A lot of people appreciate what you got. I think you've done a very good job with this bit. I think he's done something that's perfect for the collection. I like it a lot. It seems very stitched up and DIY as well, so that as well. If he's trying to make like a cultist sort of vibe, I think it's all like fleshing out to be something really interesting. So we'll see where it goes from here as well. Like, could we potentially see the likes of Armour, some more clothing? We'll have to wait and see. Maybe some more hide skins. I know a lot of people trying to make hide shirts and hide pants a thing as well. So what about we get that?
Did a nice job with the cavities on here, with like the little eye for the skull, and in this one where I don't know if that's a nose hole. I guess that's an eye hole. But it's like the wrapping goes through there, and it definitely has an illusion of being 3D. That's not part of the mesh. That's something that he did with the texturing and the normal map, and I think it really did come out very nice.
Looking good, Mr. MICRØ. Right, MICRØ. That is all of the workshop weapons and tools. Would you like to put on the pretty dress? MICRØ, should we start calling you MICRØ? Moo. You gonna moo again? Yeah. Come on. It's gonna load up any minute now. Now you can say it.
Moo.
Yeah, we've returned with the Camouflage collection made by Mr. Emilio Frito. He has brought us the Camouflage jacket. So we've seen the likes of Camouflage sheet metal door, Camouflage rocket launcher. There was another skin, I think, but this is all ever since we saw the Camouflage tier 2 being accepted for complete the sets. So Camouflage core pieces were completed when we had complete the sets earlier this year, tier 2, completing what we already had with the likes of the Camouflage tier 3 and the Camouflage hoodie and pants. And Mr. Emilio Frito, of course, seeing his skins randomly be accepted for... what's going on? What are you doing? No, don't you dare. He's going all in.
I gotta do it, man. I gotta do it.
Oh,
you know what? Honestly, you can't stop me, so...
I wish I could. So, yep. Could we potentially see the next edition of the Camouflage collection? Do you want to give us a nice spin, Mr. MICRØ? Chat, remember, if you like what you see, please go to the workshop, please vote for what you like, show your support, show face punch, you want this in the game. Simple as that. That's all we need to know. Yeah.
The only thing here that really breaks it for me is that now I've got udders in the front and udders in the back.
Well, you're more than prepared for... yeah, that is a bit of a strange decision, isn't it?
It's like udder overload.
Yeah. But
at the same time, it's iconic for the skin, and I even got him in my little keychain here on my lapel. So.
Maybe he has interests that he's trying to share to everyone. Yes, right, okay. So, MICRØ, would you like to put on the next piece of clothing? Oh, and the armor.
This is like a whole entire set here, huh?
Looking to be.
I mean, we have the armor pieces, or the here, let me just dump off this stuff.
Mr. Meta asks you, is there really such a thing as too many udders? Too much udders?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Valid point.
So we've got what appears to be a completion of a collection, Mr. MICRØ. What do we have before our eyes? It is the Tier 2 Apostate. So, Mr. Oh, here we go. Eduardo, also known as Boris. Multi-hat, multi-name. We don't know what to say. We just know he keeps changing his name and he keeps making Apostate armor. So, last week we showed off the Apostate Tier 3. This week we've got the Apostate Tier 2. The coffee can, the vest, and of course the road sign kilt. Now, Mr. MICRØ, if you really want, please put on the Tier 3 with the kilt and of course your hoodie and pants. And yeah, gentlemen, on the horizon we might see a full collection right before our eyes. This, of course, is looking to potentially be something that's probably going to increase the price of the hoodie and the pants. We did see, the very second that we saw the Tier 3 on the workshop, loads of people went ahead and bought out the Apostate hoodie and patch. Sorry about that. Sorry, that wasn't a joking thing. I was just... Anyway, so we saw loads of people jump in and buy out a huge chunk of the stock on the Steam market. That was the Apostate hoodie and the pants. Of course, it's been a while, and we still haven't seen the Tier 3 being accepted. But what we do see is the Tier 2. Now, there is a bit of a problem. And that is, we didn't see anything appear this week. And next week is a bit iffy for what likely will be occurring. And so, because we've already kind of shown off enough of the Apostate, Mr. MICRØ, do you want to jump straight into what might be occurring next week in regards to the Rust store? Unless there's anything you might want to discuss with this?
Nope. I mean, it's cool that we saw this turn into what appears to be, a fully completed set. We could still get, like, what, some gloves and some boots, but...
Could do.
All the fundamentals are here, so...
Give us a nice spin.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, very nice. So, as I was alluding to, the very second we potentially see the Apostate Tier 3 or the Tier 2 being accepted into a Rust store, those hoodie and pants very likely will be spiking up in price. The reactionary nature of the Rust economy, it looks cool. We were worried. When we first saw the hoodie and the pants, we anticipated, oh, is this going to be another black set? In terms of, we've had a lot of black-coloured skin collections that have come out this year. We got the Dragon Rage, you've got the Black Gold, and we looked at this and thought, oh no, is there another one? And I think he's justified it enough to be a bit different. I mean, it's still got black on it, but it's got very noticeable red as well. They've added something that made them a bit more unique. At least we've got that. So I think he's done a decent job for showing something very makeshift. Bandit, Wastelander type of style of skins. We like what we see for the theme that they're going for. But will they be accepted? So, if we recall, Mr. Multi-Hat, multi-name, he tried to get Renegade completed, and he still never managed to get his Tier 2 accepted. He tried during, with a version 2, didn't get accepted. He tried to do a version 3 for complete the sets, wasn't accepted. I don't know. But now, since then, he's obviously made Apostate, making Apostate, he's now finished it, so will they be accepted? Let's see. But he's been unsuccessful before. But in terms of what do we even have in the pipeline, what do we even have next that potentially will continue a collection, all we really have is Apostate. We do have Lightweight version 3 now, so yeah, we could potentially see Lightweight getting completed with the Lightweight hoodie and pants. Or, fingers crossed, JPEG Tier 3. Will we see some more JPEG collection being made? We shall see. So, will they be accepted is the question. What will we see in the near future? We've got to wait and see. So, I like it. I like what you got here, Mr. Multi-Name. Eduardo, Boris. Yeah. I don't know what to say. But, yeah. There is a bit of a problem because we didn't see it appear this week, and this next Rust rotation probably won't allow or won't have anything else. So, Mr. MICRØ, it's now daytime. Shall we quickly talk about what's happening next week? Would you like to come to me?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Would you like to stand in position? Do you want to point at a certain something?
Oh, we'll stand over here. You can look over my shoulder. I guess I'd like to just raise everyone's awareness and attention to the fact that we have an event coming up this upcoming weekend. This is an annual event hosted by Rust, and really, I guess it's hosted by the Rustified community, and sponsored by Face Punch. But it's Charitable Rust is the event. It's a big community, open to the community, a big event where streamers and players alike can all join this server through Rustified, and it's a big event designed to raise awareness towards the charity goal, or the charity initiative, which for this year is the World Central Kitchen, which is an organization committed to food relief. And this year's goal, I think, is to break the $1 million mark. I think we're somewhere around $800,000.
Yep, just over $800,000 so far.
Yep. So in order to sort of incentivize / commemorate / celebrate the charity drive here, and in fact to facilitate that, where there's a number of Rust skins that will be in the Rust item store this week, and in combination with that, there'll be some Twitch drops as well, redeemable by watching Twitch for some designated time. So I think, Hedge, you have a few words to say about the
yes. So
themselves.
Should I proceed, Mr. MICRØ?
I think so. I think I mentioned it's hosted by Rustified. It's open to everybody. I would encourage everyone to join. It's this Saturday is the big Rustified stream. But
and of course,
on Sunday there's also some more community events going on, like
consider donating as well.
Wars or a gun game thing. I don't remember exactly what it is, but
plenty of events.
Website charitablerust.com, and keep your eyes peeled. I think Hedge and I plan on participating, actually. So if you have Rust and you want to hop on and interact with us, or potentially one of numerable other streamers that I know will be at the event on Saturday, we welcome you to join and see if you could track us down there.
So if I could take over with the next part. Gentlemen, as you are aware, as Mr. MICRØ has suggested, we do have more Twitch drops. So if you ever go to Google, I can quickly do that right now. All you have to do is type in Twitch Face Punch, and here we are. You log in, you connect your account. So you connect a Twitch account with your main Steam account, as you can see what I've done right here. And then you can see all of the Twitch drops. And what do we have available to us? So there are some stream-specific drops that will be happening. That being the Rustified stream. You have to watch the Rustified stream during this event between the 19th of November to the 21st of November, depending on your time zone and whatnot. You need to watch that specific stream to be able to get these two skins. A hammer skin. We haven't had a hammer skin for quite some time. You might want to get that. And a fridge skin. We haven't had a fridge skin in 2 years, so you might want to get that as well. And of course, general drops. So these can be earned by watching any Rust related Twitch stream. So as long as they're streaming Rust, you can get these general drops. MICRØ, there's a deer in the background. Can you get rid of him? So yes, these are available throughout the whole week, but these are only available for 2 days. So you could just watch the Rustified stream and you'll get these general drops as well. But remember, on Twitch, you need to claim them so you can move on to the next one. So you watch this for 2 hours, claim it, and then watch another 2 hours. You can then claim that after watching 4 hours of Rustified stream. For this, 3 hours of Rust, claim it, then another 3 hours, claim this, and then another 3 hours, you can claim that. It's as simple as that. You have to claim it to be able to move on to the next one. Now, you've just seen 5 Twitch drops there. If you recall, last year we were in a very similar situation, and this is where I'm a bit worried in regards to the likes of Apostate and whatnot, because what do we see happen last year? We only had charitable Rust skins. We had 4 skins with a decent amount of Twitch drops. It was very fun, very enjoyable, but this was a bit of a change compared to the previous year before that, because in 2020 we actually had charitable Rust skins with 4 random skins that weren't affiliated with the charity. So we're unsure whether we're going to have a batch of skins next week for the Rust Store rotation. Is it going to be charitable Rust Store skins with a batch of skins, a random batch of skins, or is it just going to be the charitable Rust Store skins? Now, what are those charitable Rust Store skins going to be? Well, we know our way around things. If you recall, we saw all of the submissions for all the potential skins that were being put into contention for the Charitable Rust 2022 event. So here you are, there is everything. And, well, of course, they picked out some of them. So we've seen Fresh Meat, we've seen the Bow, we've seen, what else as well? There's the Fridge as well, and whatnot. They've been accepted. But what we also know of is what's coming soon. So from this account, we can see this was the account that had all of the Charitable Rust skins from the past. And we see 4 new skins that are still yet to be added. These are your Charitable Rust 2022 skins. Chef Hoodie, the double door, a very notable double door with its see-through windows.
By the way, that hoodie is the match for the pants.
Yes. So right? if you're confused with a random pair of pants right here, that goes with the hoodie. So the hoodie's going to be sold in the Rust store, but to get the pants, you need to watch streams, the Rust streams. So just to clarify that. And yes, double door. We have the large box. Yep. And we have a SAR skin, which might be hard to see. Now, I hope you can see that a lot better. So yes, 4 marketable skins that will be appearing in the Rust store next week. But are they going to be all by themselves, or will we see extra skins with them? We're not 100% sure, but at least we've pointed it out to you. This could happen, or we could see a batch of skins appearing with them. Now, what you also want to be prepared for is they're going to be fairly expensive. It's for charity. All of these skins that we're going to potentially see next week, they are going to be not tradable and not marketable, all the charitable Rust ones. And it all goes to a good cause. It's all for a good cause. Everything. The streams, taking part in the events and whatnot. If you want to show your support, please consider it. You could even donate directly. We hope that you consider it. But with these skins, they're only available for that week, and that's it. They're gone. They're not tradable. They're not marketable. So you need to consider, do you want to have the full collection here of the Chef collection? Do you want to have the double sheet metal door that glows in the dark and has a see-through window? Ooh. Do you want to have the glow-in-the-dark large box? And do you want to have this very zany, very colourful, very out-there-looking Charitable Rust SAR skin? The choice is yours, but you've got to be prepared because you have to buy it, because once it's gone, it's gone. And that's that. So, Charitable Rust 2022, between November 19 to the 20th, we hope you will take part. We hope you will at least watch the streams that are going on, show your support. That's all we ask for. Mr. MICRØ. Hello, Mr. MICRØ. I am back. Any final words, good sir? Thank you for the help today, I should say.
No, it's a pleasure to be here. I look forward to seeing you on stream next week for the Charitable Rust event, and I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
All right.
I have almost all the skins from last year, and most of them were actually really well done. And in fact, I think almost every single skin that we saw from this year's submissions was just exceptionally well done. And the ones that were chosen are really great. They're definitely you're getting something for your money when you put that towards a good cause. Not only do you have the satisfaction of helping out and making a positive contribution to the world, and as Rust degenerates, we all can probably do with a little bit more positivity in our lives, but you're getting something cool out of it. Some of these skins are very useful and usable throughout the year, so they're not just gimmicky in the sense like seasonal skins can be sometimes, like the Halloween and Christmas and Easter stuff. They're all great skins, right? But we don't see them get used throughout the year as consistently as some of the Charitable Rust things. The doors from last year were outstanding. That includes the Armour door, the sheet metal door, the garage door. They're just really great. I'm wearing the hoodie and pants from last year. I should put on my Boonie hat that Duck made, the Charitable, the Preemptive Love hat. It was all really well done. So I think we'll see the same caliber of skins this year, and again, I hope to see you out there.
So yeah, keep an eye out for it. Consider taking part, and also, of course, please consider donating as well. So, thank you for watching. Greatly appreciate it. MICRØ, would you like to say thank you as well?
Thank you all very much. Appreciate your support and your what is it called, attendance for both the stream here and upcoming Charitable Rust thing. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much.